As you can see, we've gone the other direction. This horse is by far much heavier, carrying a much higher percent body fat than the other two horses we have seen. Again, we'll go through him the same way that we went through the other horses. Again, we'll measure our ribs, and essentially we cannot easily feel his ribs. It takes a lot of pressure to be able to discern individual ribs. So this horse is carrying a lot of fat cover over his ribs. We actually have a positive crease down his back here in the loin area. Again, the spine is lower than either side of it. So again, indication of a lot of fat cover over the ribs. In our wither area, we don't see any depression at all here between the top of the scapula and the withers. Again, it's filled in flush. It's not to the point of bulging yet, but it's getting close. We come back to the rump area, and again, we're actually seeing the tail head lower than the rump fat on either side. Again, large deposit of fat cover over the tail head. Again, we've got fat over the hip and fat over the hip area. Can't easily see the musculature, and we cannot feel the muscles. Again, they are covered with fat here over the hip area. Again, coming to the neck, we have a slight bulge of fat here along the top of the neckline. Again, crest is still very straight, but we are seeing a bulge of fat here between the top of the neck and the midline. Again, of course, it's getting a lot of fat cover laid down. You can see with his leg back, you can see the bulge here behind the shoulder. Again, this is fat. It feels very smooth. There's no striation. I'm not palpating muscle. This is actual fat covering the muscle. We come back here into the flank area. Again, we have a bulge right here. Again, by pressing on it, we see that this is not. Again, we can feel the muscle, but the muscle is starting to feel smooth. We're starting to see, again, this flank fill in with extra body fat. This horse is what we refer to as an easy keeper. Again, doesn't take much feed to keep him in this high body condition. He is what we would call probably a weekend type horse. He's exercised for an hour or two a week. Nothing strenuous, primarily walk, trot, a little bit of loping, not in a very high level of exercise. This horse will score about a body condition score of 8. Body condition score of 8 translates into the fact that this horse is carrying about 25% body fat. Again, he's not extremely obese, but we certainly would not like to see him any fatter. This horse, especially since he is not being required to do a lot of exercise, certainly, of course, as a gelding is not in any type of reproductive state, could lose probably 200 pounds and still be in very good shape for what he needs to do.